speak of me, put big homie in front of my name. For every one of you lames, y'all ain't original, they all sound the same. I stay ballin', money like a faucet. It stay running, I can't call it. Got the bug, I think they caught it. I'm with bosses. For real, it's real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear. I'm shining from ear to ear. For real, my is real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear. I'm shining from ear to ear. Victory, gold on my neck, Mr. T. Victory, zombie gang rapping that NYC. Victory, ice on my neck like a little weak. We run like a paraclete. It's on earth, but it's where I be. Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on a headstone. Too late, you already there. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts to turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at, I'm living how I want now, no reason to look down, it's clear to see, all eyes on me for 100 degrees, who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it, in public, hated to love it, the underdogs, with liquor swabs, it was written in my diary to start a war, I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique, a revolutionary shining with diamond teeth, young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor, this the glamour life, you still not a player, you ain't half as nice, I'm born again, life after death, I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly, used to keep them hypnotized, I said my name is Juice, America's most, ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads.
Money over on my headstone, here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone, only take a when I'm dead, I be gang 3 times on my headstone, been from the cradle to the grave, now your favorite rapper name on a headstone, too late, you already there. It was written in the children's story, their life's a so what you want, every day I struggle with it, only God could tell me slipping, I'm infinitely big through the genesis, dead presidents, drop a gem on them, on earth, these the last days, throw your get money, quiet storm, have it thoughts, for the cream renegade, for the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late night tip, so these see the prototype, fingertips, reservoir dog, to the skull, ignorant, can I live, still film it, kiss to death, friend protect your neck, 3 boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss to death, friend protect your neck, shame on the 3 boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, money over on my headstone, here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone, only take a when I'm dead, I be gang 3 times on my headstone, been from the cradle to the grave, now your favorite rapper name on a headstone, too late, you already there, right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me, troublesome since 96.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rearview mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach the Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
Here we go. Let's go.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Well, if those at home were wondering if we were going to see some offense in this Super Bowl, I think your answer was right there. Incomplete, but they take a big shot early.
Like the script. If they get the big play early, so much the better. But if nothing else, they send a message. They're going to be aggressive in this game.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Here's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the 1st.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. With a first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Bud Dupree in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He may try and run for this. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And past the 30, down to about the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Rodgers hands to Montgomery. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Touchdown, Packers! Jimmy Graham, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost. And obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Let's go.
They'll pitch it out to Bell. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They get it to him running left. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They held them out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. This time, Roethlisberger will throw, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Rodgers now looking to throw on 2nd down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Zone.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there at 22. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Let's go.
Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Snickers, you gotta spin.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, Rodgers eluding the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go, come on.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Montgomery. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
319!
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. The 20. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They give him a gain of 37.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Rodgers. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, a chip shot here. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
To throw on second down. Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll go again with Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard. Up to the 25. Here's Rodgers looking to throw on 2nd down. The left side throw complete to Adams. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run, and everyone else stays ready, and they were, and they picked that one off.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams from 10 yards out. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Crosby with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Crosby on now to kick it away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and in fact we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Roethlisberger now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. It's McDonald. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. On second down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown from 6 yards away. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 43. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers looking deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Hayward in there to get him for a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Jumbo! Hey, 626!
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates his way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now Rodgers. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
319. Hey, 626. Get 300.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The Packers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
319.
The short yardage man, it's Coleman. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now this time, Rodgers will throw. Dancing to his left. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that will make this a 4-point game. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Bell, and he's got room. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Washington with a catch, middle of the field. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Powers through. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
A give to Bell. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Time for a break. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this.
Let's go!
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Clay Matthews in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Back to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Boswell good with the extra point. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Boswell on now to kick this one away. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season.
A crusher there as it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that, +3.
And the Lombardi Trophy is going back home. The Green Bay Packers are your Super Bowl champions.